Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back with today's video, and I went to see The Long Shot this past weekend, and I I was surprised with this movie from the beginning because I thought this movie was going to be better than the previous movies I've seen of Seth Rogen. Let me explain why in a brief, like 10-minute video or 20-minute or however long I can last on this. So let's first start off that I knew this movie was gonna be a love story because it says it's a love or a drama I don't know how you say a comedy dramedy, a drama comedy, a love story. I knew it was gonna be a love story, but I was disappointed with this movie, even though some people loved this movie and some people didn't. And let me explain why I'm kind of iffy about this movie. I was iffy about this movie from the beginning. I mean, I didn't really have low expectations for this movie because I said, "Oh, Seth Rogen did that movie, The Interview," and then I think after The Interview, he had Neighbors 2, which I loved. I love Neighbors and Neighbors 2. I loved it, even though it's just a backyard party or a party movie. But I loved it. I loved I loved everything that Seth Rogen has done. Like there's no movie that I can say, "Oh, Seth Rogen, you ruined it." Because he did do a Christmas movie. I forgot what was the name. I think it was called The Party or After Party or something with it was a Christmas movie. And with that movie, I still loved it even though it was another like a love story. It was like a love story comedy. But this one I I fell short with it. I wasn't in love with it as his previous movies because if you watch Seth Rogen tries to push all the all the special effects and all the comedy he can. But with this one he toned it down. It's like somebody else wrote this story for Seth Rogen and just said, "Here, you're going to do this and you're going to do that." And then the same thing for the partner. What is it? I forget her name because I'm not really into her, but she was in she she was okay. I think she was in the Atomic Blonde. I think it's called the Atomic Blonde, which I did like that movie, but this one was more of a drama comedy, and I was disappointed. I thought that Seth Rogen was gonna be like extremely funny, like he always is. Because for if you watch every one of his movies, he's funny, and at the same time he has this sort of thing that's like silly, and I know most of you are gonna disagree with this video, but I'm just speaking the truth from my heart. Like he's always every movie he makes is always some kind of comedy, some kind of silliness in that's in his movies. Like watch his movies again, all his old movies, and you'll see that there's something always funny in his movies. And this one, I I didn't like it because it was more of a instead of being like more of a comedy, it was more of like a love story, which I'm not saying that I was mad. I was disappointed because I did kind of like this movie a little bit, but it ended up being like, what? I got in this movie, sat, watched the whole thing, and when I left, I was like, what the heck did I watch? It's not like it's not like I enjoyed it that I can say, wow, this is the best movie of 2019. No, nope, nope, nope. And to be honest, I haven't seen a comedy, a real comedy in a very long time. Like I cannot just go inside and go, I this is the best comedy out there or this is the best comedy of 2019. And to be honest, I didn't like this movie. Like to be honest, like there's a part where they're like in I don't know if they're like in Arabia or somewhere where there's a bombing where there's a bombing happening, and Seth Rogen gets scared, and I forget the chick's name, but because she's the president or she's trying to become the president, she's got her the people that protect her, and when they protect her, I thought that part of the movie was going to get better because it just showed a little bit of these guys that started shooting like we're going to protect you, Seth Rogen. We're going to protect you. I forget her name, but I'm going to protect you. And they start shooting like da 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 da, and it shows all kinds of special effects in that scene, and they all start running like, wow, it's going somewhere, and all of a sudden they just get into a storage room and just fall in love. Like, what? Oh man, like, is this one of the worst movies of 2019 for me? No, but it's not good. Like, I'm totally so disappointed with this movie. Like Seth Rogen. Look, I know that some of you will say that you enjoy this movie and you loved it, but I there's not the Seth Rogen. There's no Seth Rogen there. I There's no Seth Rogen. That's a problem. Seth Rogen is not himself. He's just like talking and talking, but there was no real comedy. Just when they show that he sprays himself with his own weenie, he lets with his own weenie. He goes and splatters his face, and it's like that was like kind of gross and kind of funny. But to be honest, it wasn't the best movie I've seen, and I haven't seen a comedy in a long time, so I can't really say that this one was a breath of fresh air or something. But after watching Avengers and I watched this, I was like, what? And I had high expectations for this movie because I thought it was gonna be like a real comedy, like in a long time, a real comedy, like the Neighbors 2 comedy, or like like the Interview comedy. But I know some of you didn't like the Interview, but I did. I enjoyed the movie, and I even bought it on DVD. I mean on Blu-ray, and it was wow, just still spectacular. And Neighbors 2 was great. Neighbors was great. Almost everything he's done has been great. Like it hasn't been the best, but it's still great. And with this movie, I'm like, I I don't know what happened. What happened? I don't know what really happened. This didn't really get my attention. I mean, I went for it because I had high expectations for it, but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean I want to buy this movie on Blu-ray or 4K and rewatch it. It's like another movie that just goes on video on demand, and that's it, VOD. So I don't know what you guys think of this movie because I had high expectations for it, and right now, I mean, when I watched it, I was like, it's not good. I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy it at all. It was sad. I felt bad for this movie. I was like, when I was watching, I was like, it's going to be very good. It's going to be a very good movie. But now watching it, it's like sad. I don't want to watch this movie again. So for me, this movie wasn't a good movie. So whatever you guys think of this movie, because there was a lot of potential in this movie, and having two to three great actors, I would have said incredible. But because of that, because of how the movie ended up taking its direction, I was like, I don't like it. So let me know what you guys think of The Long Shot, because I had high expectations for that movie. But since I went to watch it and I didn't like it at all, it wasn't that Neighbors sort of feel, it wasn't that Interview sort of thing where it's funny. He brings his funniness to it. because he could be funny and still have a love story. Because I love that Christmas movie he did, which was great. And you guys know what movie I'm talking about. That Christmas movie he did, which was great. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.